What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, you have Robert Helenius versus Deontay Wilder coming up October 15th, I believe it is. And I don't really want to talk so much about the fight. I want you guys to hear something that Deontay said. And this is something that a lot of you, you're blind to this. And this doesn't mean a man is scared. This doesn't mean that a man is losing his heart. It just means that they're starting to wise up. And whether it comes down to their team telling them, look, man, you got to start, like I said, making an exit strategy because you can't do this forever. Okay, especially when you have bad days in the gym, when you have times when you need more motivation, you start traveling, doing different things, going different places. Like Deontay Wilder's talking about trying something new. He wanted to do something different. He's, sparred, training over 400 rounds, and they're doing all this stuff. And okay, um, now even the basic things, stuff that he neglected to do at one point, that he's doing. Now, I'm not going to go into this whole long video. It's too much. And when Deontay starts talking, he starts rambling and just. So let me just play this short part, and I'll take it from here, say my piece, and be done with this.
Training since the last fight. I took 2 weeks off and been training since then. I know what it takes to get at this level, and I promised so many times my fans in Finland to bring the World Championship belt.
Deontay, every guy that has stepped inside the ring with you, every single one of them, they've been put on the canvas in the course of your career. Have you missed putting people away, knocking them out? You have been away from the ring for, it'll be just over a year. Your knockout percentage is over 91%. Have you missed competing as a prize fighter?
To be honest, right now, I haven't missed it at all. Many times I've sat around and contemplated, do I need to come back or not? Do I need to, because I've done so well for myself outside of the ring, to the point where I don't need boxing. I've financially, I've won all the way around, and this is some of the things that I've been trying to mentor, I've been trying to tell, especially us fighters, because I look out the fighters, man, and because I see we're the product at the end of the day. We come in and risk our lives, and for what it's worth, ain't no money, can put a price on the life, and you see so many fighters come in and time out, don't have nothing to show for when the game is up, when the business, this is a business, it's not a sport, it's a business, solely a business, and when the business is over with, none of these fighters have nothing to show for after, but they've been giving their life for others' entertainment, while everybody else take from them and bribe them and trick them into certain things. Someone would say, you're paying the fighters too much money. How? When they risking their lives and you're not doing that but sitting there and coming to a fight, getting dressed up just to be entertained. But someone would say they paying fighters too much. I'm always going to be an advocate and a hardcore speaker for fighters, because people don't know what we go through day in and day out, time in and time out. And then you wonder why certain guys that get on TV or anywhere and express themselves in tears or whatever because of mental illness or PTSD or any other things. You got to understand that when we get outside the ring, it may be more complications than what it may look like, in person. That's why I tell all fighters, I recommend them all to go get MRIs, CAT scan, brain scans, go get blood tests and stuff like that, because you got to understand the business that we in is an individual business. We have to do a lot of things of our own. A sport provide things for us. A business, well, you have to provide it for yourself. And with that being said, sometimes it takes financial help for that, which a lot of fighters don't get that aid to do so. Everybody always looking to make money for themselves, but what about the product that actually making money and people that's coming to see them make money? So I had to think long and hard, about a lot of things, right, because of the position that I'm in, especially out of the ring and in life. You know, man, it's an amazing. Then upon getting a statue, you know.
Hey, we heard enough. Now, I agree with everything that Wilder just said. And I've been telling you guys the same thing. When you guys are talking about how Joe Louis did this and Ray Robinson did that and Jack Johnson did this and Archie Moore, you know, especially when TV's in black and white, for some reason y'all think like these guys were superhuman. No, they're just as human as you and I. There's nothing super about them. At the end of the day, they had no control. They had no say-so. And it was always, you handle the fight part, we handle the business part. You know, that basically, you could have made fucking $50,000, but they told you only made 10 and paid you whatever the fuck they wanted to pay you. They treated you like shit, okay, and working your way up. We talk about how great Ali was and how Ali have all these highlight reels and he did this and that, and the most, you know, Ali was trying to get 10 million in the fight as a heavyweight, and he had to struggle. I don't even know if he actually got the 10 million in the fight, to be honest with you. But now you got welterweights making that shit. You know, the big boys is making, you know, well, everybody's not a superstar, but my point is did Ali's pay match his popularity? And look at how Ali went out. People had to do fundraisers for him. They had to do all, like, it's not just Ali, just fighters in general, depending on your popularity. It's like if somebody died and they're not well known, or they was an actor or actress from years ago. Who's talking about it? Somebody current died. Oh, shit. It's all about a popularity thing, right? Nobody really cares about you. Now, a couple things I'm going to say based on what Wilder just said. Wilder, just like anybody, it's not about you getting soft or you're a punk or whatever. No. But you can lose that hunger because you financially don't have them same worry. Like, I don't even have to fight. I'm good. That fire might stop burning the way it used to, and you might just cannot reignite it again. Wilder was saying he's not feeling boxing no more. He can't get up for it anymore at one point. And then when I said, if Wilder doesn't feel this shit, he needs to walk away. Because if he's coming back doing all this shit just to hear the roar of the crowd, just to make his little minions go, oh yeah, Wilder's the... and he goes in there and get knocked the fuck out by somebody that he should have beat, well, then what? Oh, he had a great career, and all it takes is one fight too many. And all of a sudden, slurred speech, brain fucked up. The man done broke his hand how many times? You know, and he's doing all this, and the older you get, you have to work harder. Okay? And it's about working smarter, not harder, but no, you got to push yourself harder. Well, Wilder, when he just says, you know, let's remember, it ain't about the money. It's about legacy. I told y'all that. Fighters always say that shit, but later on, they have a whole different song. It's called being young and dumb at times. You tell these fucking people what you think they want to hear. And then, you know what? You end up in a position like he just said, where you broke. You're not under the spotlight anymore. It's a new you out there now. You out with the old and the new. You're done. You had a great career, but now they got to find somebody better than you. And this is just how life goes. So when Floyd Mayweather is telling you guys that the business is shitty as fuck, these people are cutthroat, they try to use you. Nah, Floyd this, Floyd that. Yeah, Floyd was smarter than all these fighters, including Ali, including Ray Leonard, including Ray Robinson, including Roy Jones, including Mike Tyson, including Holyfield, De La Hoya. He was smarter than all of them, and he was sharper than all of them. And that motherfucker went out and said, "Okay, this is my offer. This is what I want from you, HBO. You willing to give me that? Oh no, that's too much. Okay, cool, no problem. Showtime. This is what we got you, Floyd." And HBO sat there, Max Kellerman and Jim Lamp and all these guys. Oh, Showtime is overpaying these fighters, and you know, Floyd's not worth what they're asking for, and this, and they're gonna, and then all of a sudden they cancel boxing on HBO, not Showtime. Showtime's still going strong. No HBO boxing. And this is not making fun of them because, you know, jobs are law. And don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here sad or crying for them. Them motherfuckers wanted to see Floyd fall flat on his face. Why the fuck would I feel bad for them motherfuckers? You know, they all went on to do something else, doing other, whatever the fuck it is they doing. But bottom line is, it's a business. You constantly hear me say this. I remember having this conversation before, and some smart ass in the comment section said, "Man, you sound like a promoter." I said, well, maybe because I understand the way promoters think. You ever thought about that? You're sitting up here. They make it sound like fighters are like robots. They fight. You pull the battery out their back, charge them up, rest them, put them up when it's time to fight, stick them back out. No, they're human beings. All of this shit. Remember Wilder talk about, you got to kill me out there. He's talking about that in here now. Like, you got to put me down until I ain't got nothing left. No. He said the same thing in this very interview. And all this going out on your shield, right? Well, guess what? That's exactly what Mark Breland tried to save him from. But he was so paranoid and think the world is against him and blaming everybody for his own loss, he fired the man. And look at what he just said. You putting your life on the line. People think they pay us too much money. We out there, we could, putting our life on. Okay. But you also realize that when you walk away from all this and you done sacrifice, your family done sacrifice, they dealt with you not being there, long training camps, you away from home, and then you end up with nothing. That's not what a woman should marry you for. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, my point is, you do all of this, and then what do you have to show for? No, he gets it now. Fury was talking that same shit. I don't care about the money. Remember that shit? I don't care about the money. I don't care. I don't need the money. This and this and this. Money doesn't make me who I am. Belts don't make me who I am. All that shit. What is he saying now? Something completely different. He wants $500 million. Remember that? I ain't fighting nobody till I get a boatload of money. Right. And Floyd said, fuck that. I already see what this is. You have meetings and you sit with these old wrinkly motherfuckers who ain't never fought a day in their life, and they sit up in mansions and got yachts and own clubs and shit and all that. Yet you the fucking one. You the product. Like Wilder just said. I've been saying the same shit. But a lot of you guys, just like Robert, Garcia said, Anthony Joshua can't be fixed. Y'all just say, well, a lot of y'all can't be fixed. Y'all just don't understand logic and common sense. This is the grown-up side of shit. This is all a part of life. This is a part of the business. So when you're saying, oh, these fighters back in the day was this, stop praising stupidity. You always, I used to work in this nursing home. And I remember, because I would always get up and go on the floors. I was never a lazy person, so I worked my way up. When I became supervisor, assistant manager, and all that shit, I always got up, and if I had to roll my sleeves up and get dirty, I would, because I was never above the work that I started in. I never I don't care right now what you're doing for a living. I never look down on anybody, and I don't praise anybody for what they do, and I don't look down on you for what you do. Now, there's certain shit, I'm not talking about, if you're doing something that I feel is degrading, that's your business. I stay away from that. I don't get it that. But what I'm saying, I used to always have these old men and women who nobody came to see them. They were always there, just nobody. They looked across, somebody sitting up, their son, daughter, grandkids, aunt, auntie, cousin, somebody, whatever. And some of them, a whole lot of them, they would always talk to me. They were, young man, you got a good head on your shoulders. Don't make the same mistakes I made in life. Well, I thought that I knew what I was doing, and I have heard all kind of stories about people who had millions of dollars and blew it and got nothing to show for it. Now they sitting up in a nursing home. Nobody comes see them. When they had money, everybody was sponging off them. Everybody loved them, right? No, they get it now. After it's too late. Wilder understands this shit. You can't fight forever. So all that ain't about the money. It's about legacy. No. We would rather see a better fight than Robert Helenius, but it is what it is. There's other fights out there. Helenius is getting his shot. Now, if either Helenius is going to go in there and let it all, leave it all in the ring, does he win? I think Wilder should win this fight, but hey, what if Helenius pulls off the upset? What if he does win, right? Then what's next? More likely a rematch, right? Okay. If Wilder wins, we want to see Wilder. We want to see all these fighters, not just one particular fighter. We want to see all these fighters fight the best fighters. But it's up to them to want that. But I just thought it was interesting. And that's now he gets it. All of this talk about it ain't about the leg or fire money. It's about legacy. Yeah, with a lot of fighters, it's about both. And when you fought everyone, you defeated all these fucking people. Now you got these up-and-coming guys that's trying to get their foot in the door, but they haven't proved shit yet. And you look and say, right now I could pick whoever because none of these fucking guys really stand out. And it's like I said, Keith Thurman was no star. He wasn't even a fucking star by the time when he was talking this shit. He was up and coming. People didn't really believe in Keith at that time. They was hollering one time, but he hadn't proved shit yet. He got hit the body shot by Collazo. Remember Luis Collazo had him bolted over and all that. Yeah, and people was like, man, this motherfucker, so he can dish it out, but he can't take it. Keith Thurman turned out to be a good fighter. Sean Porter was up and coming, had a loss to Kell Brook. You know, he hadn't really done, not like it took those years for them to come up, right? Danny Garcia, all these guys, right? We saw what Manny Pacquiao did to Keith Thurman. And if people are stupid enough to think that any one of those guys was better than Floyd or Pacquiao, and I believe, like by the time Marquez fought, Tim Bradley, Marquez was older. He's older than Pacquiao and Floyd. Marquez was older already. He was already, if Marquez was in his prime, it probably would have been a different outcome. More than likely, it would have been a different outcome. But at the end of the day, regardless, life does not stand still and time doesn't wait for nobody, right? So my whole thing with that is Floyd put the fucking work in. You can't fuck with Floyd's resume. He put the work in. Floyd was 38 years old and was ranked pound for pound best fighter at 38. Who the fuck else gets that accolade at 38 years old? So they always try to discredit Floyd and say, oh, he was the smartest as far as financial. Yeah, but y'all say he can't read. Yet a dummy is smarter than everybody else. So all this dumb shit. Well, good for Deontay that he understands this shit now. Because you try to please these fucking fans and you talk, look, these same motherfuckers that cheer you will boo you tomorrow. In fact, let me explain something. It's funny because I just saw a video where Deontay Wilder met Muhammad Ali's grandson. And I thought about all that shit when Malik Scott was talking about how Deontay's 10 times better than Ali and all this other dumb shit. But I just sat there and I thought about it because I was watching the Muhammad Ali, what's the kid name that he fought? Forget the guy's name. The one that kept running, sticking his head out the ring and all. He beat George Foreman after Ali beat him. I forget his damn name. But anyway, Ali got the decision in that fight. They was cheering that guy in the fight. They booed Ali at the end of that fight. Ali was 34 years old. He got the win. And they booed Ali. Alright? So my whole point is, none of these fucking fighters, no singer, no actor, who was bigger than Michael Jackson. They say Michael Jackson might have been the most popular motherfucker ever. That motherfucker, they knew Michael Jackson in every damn country. You know what I mean? Ali was super popular, but nobody stays on top forever. And when you're done, the people that love you, the people that stand with you, it ain't gonna be no fucking, look, it's not about people talking good or bad about you. The reality is, as you get older, your fan base gets older. You move on, you get older, you die, they die. It's a whole different generation of people coming on. When you talk about leaving a legacy and people pulling up your fights, okay, that will happen, but it's not like you won't know. You won't be here to see it. You won't know, right? And you start to really realize, Mike Tyson is another guy who you hear speak and say, the things that I used to think was important. As I got older, I started to realize this shit don't mean nothing. The fame, all these women that's crazy about you now, like you hear guys talk about, man, I was the ugliest motherfucker. I could never get women. Now I got money, and all these women who normally would laugh at me for even saying hi to them, now all of a sudden they want to get with me. It's not me, it's the money. Fans are the same way. People want to be a part of something that they feel like is big. And when you on the top of the food chain or something, yeah, you stand out. It's like, you go, like they have all these basketball and football teams, they all have lounges, right, for their team. What you think these women that get dressed up, coming out with their tits popping all at the top of their shirt, mini skirts and all, just say, what you think they're there for? The bench players? No, they'll settle for that bench player if they can't get to who they want, and that's what really usually happens. And that's why they do this, they meet these people, and pretty much nobody knows who these fucking players are because they coming off the bench, but then they end up on some series, some show, trying to get more popularity, and pretty much they come on there with their new fiance. 6 months later, these motherfuckers are divorced and they hate each other, and there's all types of stupid shit going on because nobody really cares. So for you to know, this chick is only after because I got money. Just saying. It's like if a dude, if he wanted a chick because, she like the hottest chick in music right now. If I could get with that, that'll boost my career. It's all a dirty game. It's business. Hear what Deontay's saying now. Wasn't I saying this shit like 4 or 5 years ago to y'all? 3 years ago? Wasn't I saying the same shit to you guys? These people don't care about you. It's a business. You running around here talking about legacy, legacy, legacy. These promoters don't give a fuck about your legacy. They care about money. So if fighting fucking Jake Paul is going to generate fucking $500 million versus you fighting another top prospect that would destroy Jake Paul, guess who they want you to fight? Jake Paul, because they want that payday. That's what it is. It's a business. Any one of y'all that think that they really give a fuck about these fighters on a personal note, they only care about the fans enough that you keep interested in the product. But see, these old motherfuckers are starting to lose touch with what's going on, and they keep doing the same outdated method. That's why boxing is in the position it's in. But they don't care about these fighters personally. It's all, if they gave a fuck about these fighters, the WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, all these sanctioning bodies, all these different people, somehow they will get together, they will form a fucking union and make sure that these fighters are taken care of, that they get Social Security, they get a pension. They would make sure. Common fucking sense. These motherfuckers, you look at, if you can pay a fucking fighter $300 fucking million in one night, like Floyd got, if you can pay a fighter that much money, how much money you think that whole fucking pay-per-view and everything generated overall? And what they made at the gate? No, how much of that, what the fuck do you think? So popularity-wise, and all of this shit that people don't overlook on purpose, because they sit there and they want to play favorites. Oh, I like him, I don't like him, fuck him. Well, he should get this and he. These fighters are starting to understand what fucking Floyd started to learn and understood. You are a wounded horse. Once you cannot fucking perform no more, you know what they do to a wounded horse? Simple. And they use you to build up the next guy. And already, you hear this guy, this young American guy, Jared Anderson. Already, what are they talking about? In America, there's only one heavyweight that have any type of notoriety. Well, guess who they're going to look at when Jared Anderson is trying to make that spot, take that spot? So they're saying when Wilder retires. You don't think somebody's going to say, hey, Deontay, if Jared Anderson builds his profile up enough and he's that guy, you don't think they're going to start saying, yeah, he's better than Deontay Wilder? They're going to try to get to Deontay to, you know, if Deontay can keep winning and keep in a top position, where they'll try to set that fight up where here's the young lion versus the old lion. He beats Deontay. Now, the fact that boxing most of the time does a terrible job promoting the majority of these fighters, that could be a setback. But overall, oh no, they're going to push. So Jared Anderson is that guy. You understand what I'm? That's how it goes. Same way. You know, where you know, whoever is on top anywhere, somebody's looking to try to find someone to dethrone you. That's business. They're not going to let the business sink because you sink. You understand? That's just common sense. If they feel like you're a sinking ship, we're not going to sink with you. Who can we find to replace this guy? Wilder gets it now. So him fighting Robert Helenius, I'm not even going to get to that fight because I don't think much of the fight. You know, I'm not mad at the fight. I'm not mad at none of this shit. But I just feel like this is a fight where, you know, Wilder now, he's talking with, well, he rambled the majority of this whole fucking thing. They asked Deontay one thing and he just, for long-winded responses. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's a business. You realize you can't do this forever. You talking all this legacy, and now you see, oh shit, you know what? Okay. Now the other shit that you're dealing with and that you witness and you know that you like may not talk about. You talked about going out on your sleeve, but yet you said, remember when he told Fury, you have to kill me in there, right? Right? You have to kill me in there. What did he just say? Ain't no price you can put on your life, right? So trying to sell a fight and talking all that bullshit does not add up to real life shit. There is no price on your life. And that's why when I asked the question, do you think that Deontay's wife and kids would be proud that he went there and died in the ring? See, it was okay when Apollo Creed died because he didn't really die in real life. Even though, you know, we didn't want to, you know, you thought you'd see more Rocky movies with Apollo in it or something, but it is what it is. But he didn't die in real life, you see. That was cool. That was okay. You die in that ring, that's it. So sitting here calling him the Bronze Bomber and hollering Bomb Squad wouldn't bring his life back. Or he land up there a vegetated state in the coma. Shit can happen. He gets it now, right? So even when he was talking this shit about he want a body in the ring, that's why it was a lot of goofy shit that he was saying. And I felt like it was immaturity and just stupidity. Like, why would you say shit like that? Even if you feel it, why would you say that shit? I want a body on my record. All that kind of shit. Just talking. But look at what he just said now. And that's a reality. Ain't no price you can put on your fucking life. That's it. You gone. You gone. This is the hurt business. And that's a possibility that the person can lose their life, and it has happened. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not really here to talk about him and Hellenius because I already spoke about that. And, it is what it is. Hopefully he get the job done so he can move on to bigger and better things and the fights that we want to see we could actually get. But at the end of the day, this is not something like, with people that still sit up here talking shit about Mark Breland this, Mark Breland that, based on them believing that he poisoned his water and all this crazy shit. My thing is, he tried to save that man from getting permanently damaged in that ring. In my opinion, that's what I don't believe that poisoned water shit. You when you have proof of something, especially when you say you on top of things, then shit like that can't happen. That can't happen. So when I look at that as like, the man tried to save him from permanent damage. He fired him. And if he can realize himself that, there's no price you can put on your life, we risking our lives in there. And then he even said he wasn't motivated to come back. He didn't miss boxing at all. He don't need boxing. And all around, he's good. You understand what I mean? As I said, there's a reason why they handpicked Hellenius. It's a reason. You got this, and then even to say he's on a 3-fight winning streak. Yeah, but against who? You understand? Against who? And the way these ranking systems are so screwed up that you got certain fighters ranked number 1, 2, and 3 that didn't do anything to get there. You got fighters in the top 10 that shouldn't even be in the top 10. Top 15, they shouldn't even be there. That's just the way it goes. Somebody ranked number 15 in one boxing organization, all of a sudden is number 3 in another one, and shit like that. Like, really? He's that low on the totem pole in this organization, but over here he's number 1 or number 2 or 3 or something. That's crazy. But yeah, so at least Wilder understands that. But what's done is done. You can't change certain things. But I don't know if probably pretty much him and Mark Breland probably won't ever speak again. However it goes or whatever. I haven't heard him say anything about Breland lately. I haven't heard Breland say anything about him. Not that they need to say anything about each other, but if he truly believes that that man tried to poison him, then, yeah. There's a lot to that can be said. But this is what I've been telling you guys. And I'm always going to stick to my guns. Because I know common sense is you cannot function the way you're supposed to when you're hungry, you broke, you don't have money, you can't take care of your family, your mind is not right, all of that. You hear him talking about fighters getting MRIs and making sure that they're okay, all that shit. Because, yeah, boxing doesn't take care of you that way. You get paid to fight. And you always hear boxing, boxers fight injured. Most of the time, a whole lot of times. So at the end of the day, you chose a profession that this is a dog-eat-dog type world. And you chose a profession that exemplifies that. So when you get in that ring, don't expect pity from anyone. Don't expect sorrow, any of that. That's what happens. But again, you saying, oh, that's messed up what happened to Deontay. Oh, man, he should have took that fight, man. He already had money. Now you'll start saying the same things that you criticize another fighter for doing. Which is, man, you know what? I'm good. I don't need no more. I'm good. I got all the money I can make investments. I'm good. I don't need boxing anymore. You start calling, oh, he ducking. This fighter's not this. Oh, he should have did that. He should have did this. It's always everybody had the answers for everybody else. So that's why I sit back and I just listen to people talk. And my thing is when you make hypocritical comments, it gets to a point where it's like you need to just say less and focus on what the task at hand is. That's why it's like for people that always have an answer for everything somebody asked them and everything that's said, certain things you need to just, man, we not even gonna get into that. You know, yeah, I mean, he comes back, all this, I'm coming back because boxing need me to gain it. This is all selling this shit. Y'all heard him out of his own mouth in the interview of the fight that he's about to have say that he didn't miss boxing at all. He had to really contemplate, do he really need to come back or whatever? And I don't need boxing. I got money. I'm pretty much, I'm doing very well all around the board from boxing and outside of boxing or whatever. So that fire may not be there. Now, if he was to lose to Helenius, let's just say he was fucking Helenius up, right? But Helenius lands something and then all of a sudden Wilder gets out of there. Wilder's not going to want to go out without a rematch. I don't think. I think he'd want to get that rematch back. But what if it's just a thing? Wilder just don't have it anymore. You watch how fast all the people hollering, Wilder this, Wilder that. Watch how fucking fast they jump on somebody else's bandwagon when he's no longer there. You watch, and just what he said is what you're going to witness. And bringing up a fighter's name, I don't believe, we could talk about certain things just for the sake of having a conversation. And, really, I don't like having conversations that I don't enjoy. But at the end of the day, once you're done, you're done. Doesn't make a difference to keep bringing up old fighters' names to prove what. So my whole thing is, for Wilder, for Robert Helenius, for Anthony Joshua, for Tyson Fury, for Jamal Charlo, for Canelo Alvarez, for anybody, all these motherfuckers. Make your money. I will never ever say a guy should not try to maximize his dollars. But you need to choose your words carefully. Because the same way everybody's jumping up, screaming, pumping their fist for you today, they will boo your ass tomorrow. And you will realize, damn, this really is a dog-eat-dog world. They really don't care about you. Like Deontay said, I've been saying the same thing. Bunch of you out-of-shape motherfuckers get dressed up and come out and criticize and talk shit, standing there, crossing your arms, bopping your head like you the one winning the fight and just talking, but you can't fight a fucking lick. You ain't in there taking them blows. Choose your words carefully. Choose your words wisely. Because when you get in front of them cameras and you, boom, all of a sudden, you a WWE superstar. Doesn't change shit. People hold, I'm one that holds you to what you say. But at the same time, I understand that this is a business. This has nothing to do with how great you are in terms of, he's a great person. I like him as a person. I'm going to make sure him and his family's okay. They don't get that shit, man. You got guys showing up to the Hall of Fame ceremonies wearing dirty sneakers, wrinkled jeans, suit jacket, look like it's too small for them, and it's like, wow. And these are guys that fought, and you can go up on YouTube and pull up their old fights, and man, yeah, he was a hell of a fighter, but what does he have to show for it? Just like Muhammad Ali, they told back in the day when they was negotiating, they told him, 99% of these fighters that retire ended up broke. That's not going to happen to Ali. And it almost did happen to him. He went through some shit that, but even physically, look at his health. Sometimes you watch this shit and it's like, damn, you sit and watch what he was, and then you stand there watching him tremble and can't talk, and any fighter. So anyway, I'll say what I was about to say for another video. But these fighters, Deontay, I salute him for what he just said. Because at the end of the day, that's real shit. These people don't care about you. It's a fucking business. And if you can't produce what they want from you, they really don't care about you. And that's real. Now the next video that I'm going to do, I'm contemplating on if I'm going to do that actual video. Anyway, y'all will know if y'all see it up there. I'm not going to talk about it. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch you on the next video.